Welcome all to 5 Minutes with Kerusso. I'm Whitney. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. So tomorrow is May 1st, and that marks the beginning of Mental Health Awareness Month. So I thought today I would share some passages from the Bible that I found to be relevant to that. Now that's probably a really familiar term to you. It's a pretty popular buzzword to hear the term mental health these days. And part of that is that it's becoming less stigmatized, so it's becoming easier for people to talk about. But, and this is kind of a good thing and a bad thing, more people are actually recognizing when they're dealing with mental health issues. And it's great because they're able to recognize it now. Kind of stinks because we're realizing a bunch of us are dealing with mental health issues and we're just all walking balls of anxiety, especially in a pandemic. There was an APA study done in 2018. And they quickly figured out that younger generations are the ones who carry a lot of stress, or at least report the highest amounts of stress. But they also, because of destigmatization, are more quick to recognize mental health and are more likely to actually seek out professional help for how to deal with it. And that's the cool thing there, is that because of this, people are feeling more empowered to actually look for treatment. So this is clearly a very frequent thing that a lot of people are dealing with. And these are pre-pandemic numbers. This is 2018. I don't even know what these numbers are like now. But given that this is such a common thing for so many people now, I really wanted to share some verses. And I will also say these verses are meant for guidance and comfort and support. If you need professional help, please seek it. I don't want anybody to think that this at all equates to treatment. But I will at least share what I found to be really relevant. And I hope you find some encouragement from these. So my first verse is from Psalm 94, and it's verses 18 through 19. And it says, "When I said my foot is slipping, your love, O Lord, supported me. When anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy." And I love that because not only is it a reminder that God is always there for us whenever we stumble, but it lets us know that there's genuine joy to be found in God in the midst of anxiety because of the consolation and comfort that we can find in Him. So I love that one. My next one is Jeremiah chapter 17, verses... I'm going to start in verse 5. It says, "This is what the Lord says. Cursed is the one who trusts in man, who depends on flesh for his strength, and whose heart turns away from the Lord. He will be like a bush in the wastelands. He will not see prosperity when it comes. He will dwell in the parched places of the desert, in a salt land where no one lives. But blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. He will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." This one's hard for me personally because I like trusting myself. I don't know about you. But especially when I'm personally feeling really anxious, I look for control. I look for some sense of control over what's going to happen to me, what I'm going to be doing, over my schedule, over my sleep, over my work. I look for some semblance of, I just start grasping for some kind of control in my life. And I forget to just trust God that He's got me, that if I put my trust in Him, I'll get much better results than if I just trust myself. And that's so hard to remember if you're in the middle of an anxious episode, but there it is. Okay, then my last one is in Matthew, and this is chapter 6, and there's a whole section about do not worry. Now, I recognize that worrying is very different from anxiety and depression and mental health issues, but I also know that for a lot of people, it can manifest as worrying or obsessing or fixating on something. So I just want to share a little bit from this section. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but verse 27 says, "Who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life?" And then at the end it says, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." And isn't that a comfort when if you ever get stuck in, like me, if you ever get stuck feeling paranoid or having all these intrusive thoughts that get stuck in your head that you just can't seem to get rid of, it's a comfort sometimes to know that, okay, I could worry about this all I wanted to, but I can't control it. And it's hard sometimes to not fixate on something that we can't control. But again, trusting in God, relying on Him, relying on that support that we get from Him, that consolation that we get from Him, and just remembering that He's got this. He's got us. He carries us, even in our hardest, most stressful moments, even when we feel like we can't do anything. He's got us. Sometimes He's the hand that pulls us up to our feet. Sometimes He's the arms that carry us to the finish line. I hope that you got something out of these verses. Thank you for letting me share them with you.